tonight's event. I think we just should start off by thanking Carlow Mental Health Association for the fantastic work that they've done for the last number of years and how much it has grown in popularity, the events they're running. I mean, this weekend alone, there was hill walking, there was historical tours, there was gardening events, there was singing and ukulele played last night, and I believe it was mostly women last night, and a lady on the committee sent everybody before I left with tonight's event, and that if nobody else, come along to have a look at Sean O Brien. So.
Apologies for the rest of you.
So yeah.
I haven't met you.
So I suppose the committee of Carlow Mental Health, Rita Kelly, Catherine Delaney, Marion Kelly, Janet Kelly, Kathleen Chada, Jason Cullen and Sinead Fox deserve a round of applause, I think, for the great work. We're all coming here from different backgrounds, but we're all, I suppose, very involved with men's mental health in different ways without even realising it, maybe, you know. And our first speaker is a man that really does need no introduction. I mean, European Rugby Player of the Year, Lions, fabulous player of the Lions for Ireland, for Leinster, for his club Turlough, and now he's going to Naas, I believe. But he's also a sub with the Fighting Cocks junior team. So I hand you over to Sean O Brien, a legend of Ireland and Carlow.
Thanks a million, Turlough, and I suppose thanks for inviting me here first and foremost. I actually couldn't even make the panel for the junior team, just so everyone's aware. So I left it, hung up the boots early this year. I suppose I've been involved in a lot of stuff in around the town and Carlow and Turlough over the years, and one of the things I think that I haven't been involved in until now is actually this. Being here tonight speaking about mental health. I think everyone on this panel here will have some sort of nugget for everyone out there, but I do think it's a massive, obviously, thing in society at the minute, and something that needs to be addressed, and for men in particular, and even myself over the years, I'll talk about some of my own experiences that I went through, some of the things that have helped me deal with certain situations, and hopefully that will just give you a little bit of something to take away from tonight. I suppose I started out in Turlough, in County Carlow, as a young fella from a farming background. Parents split up when I was 12 or so, and that was the thing that probably was hitting me most as I went through my teenage years. But thankfully, rugby actually, and sport in general, I was big into GA at the time. That was that was my outlet, and I actually didn't realise it until I got to probably 26 or 27 years of age, and that was the first time I went to speak to someone about it, because it was affecting other parts of my life, relationships. I would have had a short fuse, not in a bad way, but I get agitated very quickly, bits and pieces like that. And talking to a professional about and going and seeking help was probably the best thing I ever done. And after one session, I remember coming out of that hour-long chat, and the man I was talking to, he said to me, "So you're going to find the root of the problem." And it's a thing I probably think of all the time now. If I'm stuck on something, or if something's not quite sitting right with me, what is it? What's the root of it? Because everyone, I think nowadays, they say, "Oh, not feeling good about this and not feeling good about that," but it stems from somewhere, and that was probably one of the things now that I've tried to do in my life now, is anything that's getting on top of me, will pare it right back and get back down to the root of it, and seeking to solve it from where it started. And that's probably something I've done with family life, and personally for me it's been great. The other thing I think that I've done over the years as well, that's helped me a lot, is I've had a really, really good core group of friends, and I have probably two really good friends in Dublin and two of my best friends down here in Carlow. And it wouldn't matter what, I suppose it is, I can approach them, and I feel very comfortable approaching them, and have like a deep chat or whatever it might be that you need a hand with. I think that's one of the things that I probably struggled with early on in my career, was not reaching out to those lads who were in that circle, people who knew me, because I probably thought it was, I'll deal with it myself. I'm a sportsman, I'm playing with Leinster, I'm playing with Ireland, I don't need to, I'll figure it out on my own, which is another big lesson, that I figured out stuff so much more when I had people around me, and close people around me, who gave honest feedback and were able to chat with me, and just being a completely open book, I think. So that was the team. I think still nowadays, you know, James and Pádraig, they're my two best friends around here. And it works the other way as well. I think when you have that group of people that you can confide in and trust in and open up with, it's certainly, I suppose, you forget about a lot of the things that you think might be coming in on top of you, and it does release that little valve, I think, knowing that you've talked about it and you've been open about it, and you've kind of got the situation under control. There are a few bits and pieces I think I've used over the years from my own personal mental health, and the other one then is obviously training for me. Even though now I'm retired, I still try and train every day of some description, or be active, walk. I have dogs at home. I do a little bit of clay shooting. So I've gotten into stuff that I can focus on and takes my mind away from everything else. That's, I suppose, your everyday life, or your everyday work or job or whatever it may be. I think clay shooting for me is, I don't think about anything else, only the clay in the sky, for instance, and shooting it. So I'm like a new man. If I'm under a bit of pressure, I go clay shooting for an hour, or go for a walk with the dogs for an hour, and by the time I get back home, the problem is not there anymore. So there's a few bits like that, I think, that I've learned to give myself more time as well, is what I'm probably trying to say, is actually do something that you're happy doing. And I suppose lastly then, for me, I think there was a good story years ago from, it was actually was a cowboy who used to, and there's lots of cowboys around Carlow and Turlough, mind you. But this in particular cowboy used to come back to his house every day, and his wife used to watch him out through the window, and he used to leave his hat on a tree as he walked up the avenue. And she never questioned him for a long time, and then she said to him one day, she said, "Do you mind me asking, why do you leave your hat on the tree every evening?" And he goes, "Because all my problems are in that hat right now," he said, "and by the time I get out tomorrow morning," he said, 3/4 of them will be gone." So it was just a thing that the small stuff is, you know, maybe not as big as it seems at the time as well. So I think prioritise yourself would be one thing that I'll leave you with, and confide in people and open up to people and be vulnerable with people who you are comfortable with, and seek help if you need it. I think, like, every one of us have had different paths in lives and different issues coming up along, but we can always help each other out, and you know, there's always a way, I suppose. There's always a way to deal with something. So yeah, that's really it from me. The few bits and pieces that I have kind of done throughout my career that have definitely helped me along the way. That's just my experiences of it.
Thanks very much, Sean, it's a fascinating insight into the sport at the highest level and a possible you could play at, and he deals with the issues that everybody here in the room faces from time to time. But a few things I picked up on there that would be really significant maybe for parents, the importance of sport to a young person who is experiencing problems, the comradeship of your teammates, trying to get to the bottom of an issue, not running away from it, finding what is causing the agony or the grief that you have. A few close friends. How important is that? In today's world, people think they have thousands of friends on Facebook, but in reality, we probably all have a wee handful of friends, real friends that we can go to, but they're so important to us. and we should never underestimate how much we need them and they need us. The importance of an active lifestyle, clearing your head, getting out for fresh air, walk. There's simple things that can make such a difference, and you know, when you're feeling maybe a bit down or that, maybe it's the nice thing to do to go for that walk. So thanks very much.